I just saw Black Box Diaries, which is the documentary feature, and it is about this young Japanese woman who started when she was 25 and was trying to fight the system and get justice for the rape that happened to her of this very powerful media mogul. She's a journalist. And by the time it ended and she got a victory in the civil case, she was 33. So it followed her documenting her journey. So her documenting her journey with various recordings of police people interviewing the taxi guy, as she's writing this book, as she's keeping track of her life. Basically to point out this flaw in the system in Japanese law that basically, has victims not be able to come forward, having a police officer refuse to take her report, refuse to examine her, to my knowledge. I'm still a little confused of like the victory of, for her, like the victory of, like, what does this victory in the civil case or the civil suit even mean? And I guess I really liked that it followed her journey and she was documenting things as she was pursuing it. What I did really like is I really liked that. What are you doing, buddy? I really liked that. Sometimes in documentaries you feel like people are being really performative, and you can tell that they're not being authentic. But she felt, of course, there was moments where she was like performative. Of course, there's always going to be an element of like I'm being watched and there's a camera on me. But what I really liked is that overall, like it felt very authentic. It felt like we had this like kind of window into her world, and it made a lot of sense too that she was a journalist and that she was basically just doing her job and doing her art, that she like almost can't help it for something like this. Um, yeah, so um, I felt like it could be a little shorter. It probably could have been like 15, 20 minutes shorter. But I want to do my research and figure out like the thing with the victory and what could actually what's actually like happening, what's this guy convicted of, like is there any sort of like repercussions, like. And the sad thing is the whole time I'm sitting there holding my breath being like she's never gonna have any victory, because like just look based on the past, look based on like how women have been treated. And they basically showed that someone assassinated the prime minister, which, horrible, but also like good riddance, like this person who is basically in with this big media mogul. And that it's pretty insane to me that the courts can basically decide, and that the laws can decide, and they can be so loosey-goosey to let people like this go. But if you think about it, if you actually think about it, it makes sense, right? Like our country, not just our country, many, many countries, the entire world is founded on patriarchy, because that's the last kind of thing of like men needing to be in power and men needing to feel important. And it's so they have to make women wrong. So of course there's going to be all these systems. Like, it's funny how I watched this other documentary about Japan, and my thought was like, wow, like Japan is so great, like it'd be so great to live there, they're like everything's so clean, everyone's so kind, blah blah blah. And then I find out that it's like they're dealing with rape just as much as someone in other countries. Like this notion of they're this perfect society. It's like, what fucking society is actually protecting women and actually like doing their job? So, um, yeah, that was really cool that I got this window into this woman's life, and that it also was a window into a judicial system or a lack of judicial system in another country.